by no stretch of the imagination a hero here. The true hero is the survivor, and Robert and Kayla. They did not take no for an answer, and they were not going to take no for an answer, and they fought long and hard to ensure that they protected the victim's confidential information, and that's what was at issue here. It was amazing that they called us, and we were so excited that somebody else is as passionate about protecting victims' privacy to the point that they're going to court as a non-attorney and arguing on behalf of the victim. So please give Robert and Kayla a round of applause. I'm honored and humbled to be here in this gathering. It's really just amazing the number of people that we have in this room from such a diverse area and organizations, law enforcement, prosecutors, community-based organizations, youth organizations. I think that really speaks to how strong the community is here in Solano County. I'm from Sacramento and I direct the Victims Program, which is a statewide program that's been around since 1984. So I have a very unique kind of bird's eye view of victim services across California. I get to interact with victims before they contact law enforcement, during the criminal process, and after the criminal process has concluded, during parole, etc. And what I can tell you for sure is that nobody asks to be a victim. Victims are thrown, propelled into the system without any guidance, without any support. And each and every one of you play a role in providing support, in providing guidance. My husband likes to put puzzles together, and he sat for days working on this like 1,000 piece puzzle. I'm not a big puzzle fan. And in the end, there was one piece missing. One piece missing. And it looked really odd, right? That puzzle looked incomplete. And to a victim, if they're not getting services from community-based organizations, if they're not getting services from law enforcement, from the prosecutors, from community-based, faith-based organizations, all that support makes the system whole for them. None of us can do anything alone. I'm doing a tiny, tiny part. I'm a tiny piece of this puzzle that we have here in front of us. And I'm so excited that they chose this puzzle theme because that is a true representation of the system. I refer to victim services, and all of us are victim services, right? Whether we're law enforcement, whether we're community-based, a nonprofit, victims see us as part of the process because they're interacting with us because they were a victim of a crime. So whenever we're interacting with them, they see us as part of that. They don't distinguish me as a victim's rights attorney from my friends at the prosecutor's office. We're doing something and helping them overcome their victimization. So it's up to each and every one of us to ensure that we're working together collaboratively. And I think Robert put it very eloquently that, you know, what does collaboration mean? It means a warm handoff. It means staying in connection with each other, understanding what others do, what other services each provides. Because we don't want to leave a victim at the end of our services on their own because they don't know where to go. Victims call us every day and they're like, are you victim comp? That's what they think we are because we're listed on the back of the Marsy's law card. And they have no idea who we are. There's the name victim and organization and they think we're all one and the same. So it's our responsibility to ensure that victims are aware of our services, of supportive services, to ensure that they come out as a survivor, that they come out empowered from this process. Victims do have rights as they're going through this process, and that's what Robert and Kayla were working so hard to accomplish, to ensure that those victims' rights are enforced. We don't want our victims to lose their voice in the process. We don't want our victims to feel like they were not heard, that they were not respected. And one organization can't provide that for victims. Our victim advocates do a wonderful job, but their job is limited. Each of our jobs are limited, but we should not stay in our own little silo, focused on only what we do. We need to come out of the silos and we need to create that full puzzle for the victim, because a bunch of puzzle pieces tossed around is of no service to the victim. We're expecting them to then figure out how to put it together. And they may be missing those 2 or 3 pieces and that puzzle will be incomplete. So an honor to be here. It's an honor to see the passion in the room, to feel how each and every person is working and striving and doing their best to ensure that our victims are becoming survivors. And the only way to do that is to work together collaboratively, come out of our silos, work together as a team, because we really are a team. We really are a family. We each want to help victims. And as you heard from the many speakers before myself, each person said, we are here to help victims, but we need to understand the limitations of our role and know where to hand off the survivor to and provide that warm handoff. So thank you very much, Robert, for inviting me to be here. I really did nothing other than my job that night. Yes, I worked a little late, but I was happy to do it because I was empowering you as you were trying to empower and protect the survivor in court and make sure that her records are protected. And our phone number is 1-800-VICTIMS. I'm going to leave my cards with Robert and the cards of our organization. So please feel free to contact us if we can be of any help, because my job is to empower each and every one of you in your respective roles with the information about victims' rights to ensure that they come out empowered and that they end the system as survivors, not re-victimized by the system, which we see unfortunately day in and day out. So thank you for everything that you do. Each of you play a critical role in this process, and the puzzle would not be complete without each and every one of you in this room. Thank you, and I look forward to getting to know you and working with you in the future. And thank you, Robert, for this honor. And I hope that you have a medal for yourself and for Kayla, because if it wasn't for you, that survivor's confidential information would have been released in violation of her rights. And I have been in this job for almost 10 years, and I have never seen anybody like Robert and Kayla fighting, not taking no, going all the way to Oregon.